So let us now, um, so let, don't touch anything. So let us now see what is social audit. Social audit is an independent evaluation of the performance of an organization as it relates to the attainment of its social goals. It is an instrument of social accountability of an organization. So this means that we assume that organizations owe an obligation not only to achieve financial goals, but also social goals. And this sort of thinking arises from the concept of corporate social responsibility or social responsibility in general for any organization. Organizations do not operate in a vacuum. They operate in environments where they are using public resources, they are interacting with society and different community groups, and thus we expect those organizations to owe some sort of a responsibility to the various stakeholders and people that the organization interacts with. So, other words, social auditing is a process that enables an organization to assess and demonstrate its social, economic, and environmental benefits. It is a way of measuring the extent to which an organization lives up to the shared values and objectives it has committed itself. Also, we can understand social audit in that it provides an assessment of the impact of an organization's non-financial objectives through systematic and regular monitoring based on the views of its stakeholders. And I know that you would have come to hear this term called stakeholders quite often in your study. However, just to make sure we are all on the same page, the concept of stakeholders generally include employees, clients, volunteers, funders, contractors, suppliers, and the general public affected by the organization. So stakeholders are defined as those persons or organizations who have an interest in or who have invested resources in the organization. So the concept of social auditing is very much linked with the concerns, the interests of all the stakeholders of an entity or an organization. Okay, now let's look at the history of social audit. Charles Medawar is the guy who pioneered the concept of social audit in 1972. He applied the idea of social audit in medicine, policy, drug safety issues, and on matters of corporate, governmental, and professional accountability. Now, according to Medawar, the concept of social audit starts with the principle that in a democracy, the decision makers should account for the use of their powers, which should be used as far as possible with the consent and understanding of all concerned. Now, in today's language, you will hear the term social license, and this is very much similar to what Charles Medawar had in his mind. So social license is also a concept that provides an understanding about how organizations are expected to operate in a responsible and ethical manner and to make the call as to whether has an organization operated responsibly and ethically to an agreed set of goals, implicitly or explicitly. This is where social audit comes. The process of social audit would make a call upon that concept. Now, at this juncture, I would also like to let you know that you will be supported by a number of videos in this lecture. I hope you really enjoy them. Now, in this section here, I want to very quickly cover the social audit versus other audits, the concept. So before we see the next video, let's for a moment focus on how does financial audit differ from operational audit, and how does operational audit differ from social audit. So if you looked at financial audit, as I indicated earlier, it's about recording, processing, summarizing, and reporting of financial data, assuring that these processes of recording, processing, summarizing, and reporting of financial data have been done properly to arrive at a set of financial statements that presents the financial affairs of an organization fairly. Now, operational audit is another type of audit. Here, the goal is to understand whether there has been efficiency and effectiveness achieved in a particular operation. So it could be, let's say, in a manufacturing firm, it is about a product line manufacturing, or a particular department, or a purchasing department. So in an operational audit, it is trying to establish the standards of operations have been met. Okay, so the actual audit itself would be measuring performance against standards, examining and analyzing any deviations, taking or suggesting corrective actions, and reappraising standards based on the experience. So it's all about how to make the process or the operations better. So that's what the audit findings are leading to. So financial statement audit is about, yes, these financial statements are presented fairly. Operational audit, well, these operations have been performed effectively and efficiently, and this is how we can improve on things. Now come to social audit. Social audit provides an assessment of the impact of, let's say, a government department's non-financial objectives through systematic and regular monitoring on the basis of the views of its stakeholders. So this is why I mentioned that it's important to understand the stakeholders in an environment of social audit. Who are the people affected by that particular entity? So the social audit will come to declare or come to an opinion where it says that the social goals of this entity has been achieved. So it could be, let's say, for example, the Fred Hollows Foundation. Their social goal might be to have achieved better eyesight for 100,000 people, whatever number, in a particular region, country, or in an area. Okay, so that would be one social goal. So social goals, as you can see, can differ widely. So in government departments, it might be about empowering women. It might be about improving literacy. So the measurement as to whether a social goal has been achieved is a lot more subjective, and therefore this makes social audit a little bit more tricky, but yet interesting. And so this is critical that the auditor has the capacity to define those social goals and also assess whether those social goals have been met. Okay, so now I'd like to take you through Patagonia, or introduce you, I should say, to Patagonia. And Patagonia is a firm which is a designer of outdoor clothing and gear for the silent sports, such as climbing, surfing, skiing, and snowboarding, fly fishing, and trail running. Now, Patagonia's mission statement is to build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. So these social goals are very wide, they're very aspirational, and very inspiring, actually. And Patagonia is an exemplary organization, and this is one of the reasons why I have chosen to showcase how social audit happens in Patagonia, because they really try to live and conduct their business in a way where they try their maximum level, I suppose, to meet the mission statement. Now let us have a look at these two videos now, so that you get a better idea about the social responsibility, or the concept of social responsibility that is understood within Patagonia, and also how social audit takes place in Patagonia. In particular, Patagonia is looking at assuring or auditing its supply chain. Okay, here goes.